Hello, today we are continuing 7.2b, multiply binomials and trinomials, and our learning target is still the same as yesterday. I can multiply binomials and trinomials. So we're going to start with question 11 today. That's where we left off yesterday, and we are going to practice our foiling. I also sometimes call this double distribution. Remember, FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, last. Okay, that is the order that you multiply these things. I also like to call it double distribution to show that you distribute this term to both this and this. And then you also distribute this term to the other two as well. So some of you might like thinking about foiling, some of you might like thinking about distributing each term to the other ones. So my first, let me erase this and we'll try it together. My firsts are 5x times x. So that becomes 5x squared. My outsides, since we have an x and a y, they just smush together. So we have minus 5xy. Then we do our insides. Once again, we have an x and a y, so they just smush together. We have 4xy. And then we have our last. This gives us negative 4y squared. Now I do need to check if I need to combine any like terms. And I do. I need to combine these two because they are alike. We have xy on both of these. So I'll bring down the 5x squared. When I combine like terms, I just do whatever the signs say. And then I keep the variables and exponents. So negative 5 plus 4 is negative 1 xy. And then I bring down negative 4y squared. And this is my answer in standard form. Moving on to question 12. This is another FOIL problem. We do our first. So this is 2a squared. We do our outer minus 8ab. We do our inner plus 5ab. And then the last, minus 20b squared. These will combine together. Very similar to the last one. So we'll bring down 2a squared. Negative 8ab plus 5ab becomes negative 3ab. And then we bring down the minus 20b squared. Once again, this is now in standard form. We do not need to do anything else. Pause me for a minute. Try question 13. All right, let's go for it. We have to do our double distribution, our FOIL again. So our first, 2 times 2 is 4. R times R is R squared. 2r times negative s, sorry, let me say that again. 2r times negative s is negative 2rs. Now we move on to the inners. S times 2r is positive 2rs. And s times negative s is negative s squared. Notice, guys, that when I combine these like terms, they actually cancel each other out because one is negative 2 and one is positive 2. So my final FOILed form, multiplied form, is 4r squared minus s squared. Okay, next. We're going to take our firsts. We're going to multiply them. 4 times 7 is 28. C times C is C squared. Do our outers. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. C times D is CD. Do our inners. D times 7C is positive 7CD. And D times negative 2D is negative 2D squared. Once again, our center terms can be combined, so we bring down 28C squared. When I combine the numbers of these like term, we get negative 1CD minus 2D squared. That is as simple as this can go. Nothing else can combine. Okay, these next 4 we have not seen before. You have to be very, very picky here. This is not just a 2 that we distribute through. This is actually telling us to rewrite this as 2 sets of the parentheses. So we have x plus 4 times x plus 4. This is a very important thing that you need to remember, that if you have something in parentheses squared, you write those parentheses twice. So now we can take this and we can FOIL. So my firsts are x squared. My outers are 4x. The inners are 4x. And the lasts are 16. Once again, these like terms can combine. So we have 2x. Sorry, let me start again. We have x squared plus 8x plus 16 is our solution. We'll repeat this again on the next one. I noticed that this parenthesis is squared. So we have p minus 7 times p minus 7. This is very important. Remember to do that. If it was p minus 7 cubed, you'd write this down 3 times. It's only squared though, so we only write it twice. So then we can do our first, our outer, our inner, and our last. Once again, combine like terms. So we have p squared minus 14p plus 49. Pause me. Try 17. All right, once again, we have to rewrite this as 2 parentheses. So then we can FOIL. So I take my first. 2 times 2 is 4. M times m is m squared. 2m times negative 5 is negative 10m. Negative 5 times 2m is negative 10m. Negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25. Combine like terms in the center. We have 4m squared minus 20m plus 25. Last one of this type. We have to rewrite this. A plus 3b times a plus 3b. We multiply our firsts. So we have a squared. I already drew my arrow for my outsides, plus 3ab. Do my insides, plus 3ab. And then my last. 3 times 3 is 9. B times b is b squared. Combine like terms, we have a squared plus 6ab plus 9b squared is our solution. Okay, now, next, we are going to find each product. Going to have to write it in standard form. And this time, it is a binomial times a trinomial. So the term foiling doesn't really work for us. We have to think this time instead about just double distribution, except this time it is triple distribution because x needs to go to all three of these. So let's do that really quick. X times x squared is x cubed. X times 3x is 3x squared. And x times -6 is -6x. We also have to triple distribute the 4. So 4 times x squared is 4x squared. 4 times 3x is 12x. And 4 times -6 is -24. So I'm going to combine like terms. I've got 2 squared terms. And I have, oops, that's not what I wanted. And I have 2 x terms. So anything that does not have a buddy can just be brought down. Remember, for standard form, I have to go with the biggest degree, the biggest exponent first, so x cubed is first. Combine these in blue, plus 7x squared. Combine these in purple, plus 6x, and then bring down the constant, the number by itself. Now, reminder from a couple lessons ago, this would be considered a cubic polynomial because its biggest degree is 3 and there are 4 or more terms. That's a good reminder for your test coming up soon. All right, let's continue. So we got to do triple distribution again. I'm going to distribute this k through to each of these other terms. Basically, everything in one parenthesis has to be multiplied by everything in the other parenthesis. That's why I showed the arrows, it distributing to each of these things. So we get k cubed minus k squared minus 8k. Then we also have to distribute the other piece of the first parenthesis to everything in the last parenthesis. So we have minus 5k squared plus 5k plus 40. Now we have to combine like terms again. So I have my squared terms. I have my k terms. My cube term and my number constant don't have any buddies, so they just come down. So we have k cubed minus 6k squared minus 3k, bring down the constant, plus 40. This is also a cubic polynomial. Go ahead and pause me. Try 21. All right, double distribution again. I have to multiply the 3a by everything in the next parenthesis, so I get 15a cubed plus 6a squared minus 18a. And then I have to distribute the 1 also to everything in the other parenthesis. So we have plus 5a squared. Guys, multiplying by 1 is really nice because it just all stays the same. Plus 2a minus 6. Combine like terms again. So this gives me 15a cubed plus 11a squared minus 16a minus 6. So I combine these to get this, and I combined these to get this. And that's our final answer. Also, a cubic polynomial. Okay, last problem of this type before we do the geometry example. Once again, we're doing triple distribution, or we're making sure we distribute each term to all the other terms. So we have 2v times 4v squared, that's 8v cubed, minus 6v squared, minus 12v. We also have to distribute the 3 through, so that's 12v squared, minus 9v, minus 18. So, we combine like terms. This gives us 8v cubed plus 6v squared minus 21v minus 18. As long as you think about these step by step, they're not super difficult. Do your multiplication of your big numbers, add your exponents, combine like terms if necessary. All right, the geometry application, we are finding the area of the shaded region as a simplified expression. So I need to find the area of the overall shape, and then I need to subtract out the area of the non-shaded shape. So to find the area, you take your length times your width. So I have 2x plus 7 times 9x minus 2. That's going to be the area of my shaded region. Then I need to subtract from that the area of my not shaded region, 3x times x plus 12. So I'm going to double distribute. I'm going to FOIL here. This gives me 18x squared minus 4x. And then multiply 7 times the other two terms, plus 63x minus 14. Over here, I'm going to distribute the negative 3x through. So we have negative 3x squared minus 36x. Now I can combine like terms. So I'm going to combine my squared terms, and I'm going to combine my x terms. So this gives me, well, that's not what I wanted. This gives me 15x squared from these. And then when I combine my x terms, I get positive 23x. And then I bring down my minus 14. Even though this didn't get highlighted, don't forget that it exists. Make sure to bring it down. So this is your standard form simplified expression for the area, shaded area of that shape. All right, guys. Once this video is over, go ahead, flip your paper, try out some of the examples on the worksheet, check your work on Classroom, and have a great day.